Bhagavad Gita, Part 2, The Divine Dialogue. Welcome, dear listener. In Part 1 we witnessed a warrior fall to his knees, a soul caught in the storm of love, duty, and pain, and in that sacred silence he surrendered to something greater than logic, to someone deeper than himself, to Krishna, the divine guide. And in return, Krishna spoke. He reminded Arjuna, and all of us, that we are not this body, that true action is born from stillness, that real strength is not the absence of pain, but the courage to move through it without attachment. But even after all this wisdom, there remained one deep, burning question in Arjuna's heart. Who are you really? And that is where Part 2 begins, because now Krishna is about to lift the veil and reveal what no human had ever seen before, the divine in all his fullness. So take a breath, let the noise fall away, and step with us into the heart of the Gita, where the soul meets the source. Chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, the glorious manifestations of the divine. A stillness settles in the air around them. Arjuna, now more student than warrior, speaks once again, but this time not in despair, but with wonder. Krishna, you've told me the truth about the soul, about action, detachment, wisdom. But now I ask, who are you really? Not as my friend, not just as my charioteer, but as the divine. There's no challenge in his voice, only longing, curiosity, devotion, and Krishna smiles. Arjuna, my dear friend, I shall now describe my divine glories, not all, for they are endless, but enough to awaken your heart. And then, like waves of light breaking into every corner of existence, he begins. Among the Adiphyers I am Vishnu. Among lights I am the radiant sun. Among mountains I am the majestic Himalayas. Among rivers I am the holy Ganga. Among warriors I am you, Arjuna. Among priests I am Brihaspati. Among sages I am Vyasa. Among thinkers I am their silence. Krishna's voice pours through every domain of creation, from the stars to the soul, from music to mountains, from wisdom to war. I am the taste in water, the light of the moon and sun, the strength that is free from desire and attachment. Everything Arjuna thought was separate, all the forms, all the forces, all the wonders of the world, Krishna now weaves into a single truth. I am the source. I am the seed of all beings. Nothing moves without me. It's not arrogance. It's not pride. It is the still, unwavering voice of the infinite, revealing himself not with fear, but with love. And then he says something that silences even thought. What need is there, Arjuna, to know all this in detail? I support this entire universe with just one part of myself. Arjuna's eyes widen. His breath slows. This is not just a teacher, not even just a god. This is the infinite speaking through form, the divine playing through creation, the beloved hidden in every breath of existence. And yet, Arjuna isn't satisfied, because now that he knows, he wants to see. Chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the cosmic form revealed. Arjuna sits still, heart wide open. He has heard Krishna speak of his glory, that he is the fire in the sun, the power in the wind, the silence in wisdom. But now, words are no longer enough. A longing rises in him, not from the mind but the soul. Krishna, he says softly, I believe you. I feel your greatness. But I want to see you not in human form, but as you truly are. Show me if you think I am worthy, your divine form. And Krishna listens. There is no hesitation, because Arjuna has moved beyond doubt, beyond pride. He has become ready. Arjuna, Krishna says, behold, not with your human eyes, but with divine vision, I will give you this sight, to see me as I truly am. And in that instant, the battlefield disappears. The chariot vanishes. Time, space, form, all dissolve. And Arjuna sees, not with his eyes, but with his soul. He sees a form that stretches beyond all directions. Countless arms, eyes shining like suns, mouths glowing with fire, adorned in garlands of light, clothed in stars and thunder. In him, all gods reside. All creation begins and ends. Mountains move within him. galaxies swirl. The entire universe breathes in his body. Everywhere Arjuna looks, he sees Krishna. If 1,000 suns were to rise together into the sky, the scripture says, that would barely match the splendor of this being. Arjuna, trembling, tries to speak. I see all beings within you. I see gods, sages, warriors. I see you as the beginning, the middle, and the end of all things. And then he sees something terrifying. Within the radiant beauty, there is destruction. Mouths blazing like cosmic fire, devouring armies, swallowing worlds. Warriors, both Kauravas and Pandavas, rushing into those mouths like rivers into the ocean. And Arjuna gasps, "Who are you, in this form?" And Krishna replies, his voice now echoing through creation itself, "I am Time, the destroyer of worlds. I have come to consume all beings. Whether you fight or not, these warriors will fall. Stand, Arjuna. Become my instrument." Arjuna collapses again, not out of fear, but out of reverence. "I did not know you were this. Forgive me, Krishna, for calling you friend, for speaking lightly, for not knowing who sat beside me." He folds his hands. He bows low. "Please return to the form I know, that gentle smile, that human face. My heart cannot hold this vision much longer." And Krishna, with infinite love, returns to his familiar form, a simple charioteer, calm eyes, warm presence, and he says, "This vision is rare, Arjuna. Even gods long to see it, but you saw it by my grace." What Arjuna just witnessed wasn't a display of power. It was a revelation of truth, that the divine is not gentle or fierce. It is everything: creator, preserver, destroyer, the fire of time, and the stillness of the soul. And now, with new eyes, Arjuna is no longer the same man. Because once you've seen God in all things, you can never go back to pretending you are alone. Chapter 12. Bhakti Yoga, the Path of Devotion. Arjuna, still softened by the vision of the cosmic form, sits in silence. His voice is gentler now, his heart steadier. But one question remains, a question many of us carry. Krishna, among those who worship you with form, with love, with devotion, and those who seek the formless, who is closer to you? It's not a debate. It's a longing for clarity. And Krishna answers with compassion. Both paths lead to me, Arjuna. Those who worship the unmanifest, the formless, timeless truth, reach me, but the path is steep. It requires stillness, detachment, unshakable focus. But those who surrender to me in love, who offer their actions, minds, and hearts, I carry them myself. I ease their journey. I become their shelter. Here, Krishna does not reject knowledge, but he celebrates love. Because bhakti, devotion, is not weakness. It is the strength to trust, to love the unseen, to serve without pride, to walk with the divine, not toward it. And then, he describes the one dearest to him, not the richest, not the most powerful, not the most learned, but the one who is free from hatred, who is kind to all beings, who is content, self-controlled, and humble, who does not chase pleasure, nor drown in sorrow, who remains steady in pain and joy, who harms no one, and forgives all. Such a devotee, Arjuna, is truly dear to me. This is not a list of rules. It's a description of a heart awakened by love, a person who does not worship out of fear, but out of surrender, not to escape life, but to embrace it fully, with Krishna walking quietly within. As this chapter ends, the tone of the Gita becomes gentler, not softer in truth, but deeper in presence. Krishna is no longer just a teacher. He is now the beloved. And Arjuna is no longer just a student. He is becoming a devotee. Let's now continue with chapter 13, a shift from devotion to deep inner awareness, where Krishna reveals the truth behind our existence, the body, the soul, and the unseen knower within. Chapter 13, Kshetra, Kshetrajna Yoga, the field and the knower of the field. The sun hangs low on the Kurukshetra sky, but inside Arjuna's heart, a new dawn is breaking. He leans closer. Krishna, what is this body you speak of as the field? And who is the one who knows it? And Krishna, with the stillness of 1,000 lifetimes, replies, Arjuna, the body is the kshetra, the field. It grows, it ages, it suffers, it dies. But within it is the kshetrajna, the knower of the field, the soul. The body sees, but the soul is the seer. The body acts, but the soul remains untouched. The body changes, but the soul is eternal. This is where the Gita becomes something else. No longer just philosophy or poetry or guidance. Now it's a mirror. Krishna invites us to look beyond what we see in the mirror each day. What you call you, your name, your face, your thoughts, your roles, these belong to the field. But you are not them. You are the witness, the one who knows joy and sorrow, without being either. Then Krishna speaks of the qualities that lead to true knowledge. Not degrees, not facts, but inner traits. Humility, patience, freedom from ego, detachment from pleasures, constant awareness of birth, death, and the soul. And above all, you see me? In every living being. This, he says, is true wisdom. And then, the deepest revelation yet, that which is everywhere, unmoving yet moving, far yet near, inside all yet outside all, that is me. In this moment, Krishna becomes not just a god, but consciousness itself. The Gita is no longer a dialogue. It's a reflection, a realization, that beneath our masks, our noise, our drama, there is a silent presence, pure, peaceful, unchanging. That is the real you. And as this chapter ends, Arjuna's eyes no longer see just a charioteer. They see the formless within the form, the one who knows all fields, yet remains untouched. We now step into one of the most subtle and powerful teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna explains the three invisible threads that quietly shape our human experience and silently govern our thoughts, moods, and actions. Chapter 14, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the three modes of nature. The air grows still again, not heavy, but thoughtful. And Krishna speaks, Arjuna, every living being is bound, not by chains of iron, but by the three gunas, the qualities of nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These aren't emotions. They're energies, woven into the fabric of all creation. Sattva, the guna of light. Sattva is clarity, Krishna says. It is light, peace, purity. It binds the soul through attachment to joy and knowledge. It is the serenity in meditation, the wisdom that doesn't shout, the contentment that doesn't chase. Rajas, the guna of passion. Rajas is fire, desire, movement. It binds the soul through attachment to action and outcomes. It is ambition, craving, restlessness, the hunger to do more, get more, be more, even if peace is lost in the process. Tamas, the guna of darkness. Tamas is inertia, ignorance. It binds the soul through confusion, laziness, and delusion. It's the heaviness that clouds the mind, the pull to sleep through life, the fog that keeps us from remembering who we are. And Krishna says something subtle yet life-changing. These gunas are always in motion. Sometimes sattva rises, then rajas, then tamas, like waves in the ocean of your being. But then Arjuna asks, how do I rise above them? How do I become free? And Krishna answers, not with a technique, but with a state of being. When a person sees these qualities as separate from the self, and remains unmoved by their rise and fall, that person transcends them. He does not hate when tamas clouds the mind, nor cling when sattva brings bliss. He watches, like the sky holds the weather. And such a soul, untouched by desire, steady in pain and joy, is said to have risen above the gunas, and reaches me. This is the freedom Krishna speaks of, not to control the world, but to stop being controlled by it, to rise above nature by knowing it, to act with love, without attachment, to walk with peace at the center. And as the chapter closes, Krishna gently invites Arjuna, become that, become free. Let's continue now with next chapter, where Krishna reveals the Supreme Self, the eternal truth that lies beyond both body and nature. Chapter 15, Purushottama Yoga, the Supreme Self. Krishna begins with a vision, a sacred symbol. Arjuna, imagine a great tree, upside down. Its roots above, its branches below. This is the tree of material existence. Its leaves are the Vedas. Its branches are desires. Its roots stretch deep into illusion. And like all trees in this world, it binds one who sees this tree for what it is and cuts it down with the axe of detachment. That person begins the journey toward freedom. Then Krishna speaks of the eternal soul, the true self beyond birth and death. This soul passes from one body to another, carried by the subtle mind, like air carries a scent. It leaves one body and enters another, bringing with it its impressions, its memories, its karma. But even though it travels, it is unchanged. The ignorant cannot see it, Krishna says, but the wise, with the eye of knowledge, know that the soul is unborn, eternal, and unshaken. And then Krishna speaks of himself. I am that light that shines from the sun, the energy that burns in fire, the strength in the body, the wisdom in the wise. It is I who dwell in every heart, Arjuna. From me comes memory, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And with great gentleness he reveals. Beyond all, beyond the perishable and imperishable, is the Purushottama, the Supreme Self. That am I. This is not a god in the clouds, not a form nor a philosophy. This is the truth that beats beneath all things, not just within temples, but within us. And Krishna ends this chapter by saying, one who knows me as this Supreme Being, knows all there is to know, and walks the path of true wisdom. Let's continue with a concise and impactful chapter 16, a clear distinction between the forces that elevate the soul and those that pull it down. Chapter 16, Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, the divine and the demonic natures. Krishna speaks now with firmness. There is no poetry here, only truth. Arjuna, within every human heart exist two tendencies, divine and demonic. The divine nature, Devi Sampad, is born of light, fearlessness, purity of heart, compassion, truthfulness, control over the mind and senses, humility, steadfastness in knowledge and devotion. These qualities lift the soul. They lead to liberation. The demonic nature, Asuri Sampad, is born of ignorance, hypocrisy, arrogance, harshness, greed, lust, hatred, delusion. These drag the soul into suffering. They feed the ego and blind the heart. And Krishna warns gently but clearly, those with demonic tendencies know not what to do nor what to avoid. They are driven by insatiable desire, bound by anger and lost in selfishness. But he does not leave Arjuna in fear. You, Arjuna, are born with divine qualities. Keep your heart steady. Let go of pride and ego, and let your actions arise from truth. This chapter is not about judgment. It is about awareness, to recognize what pulls us downward, and to choose, again and again, the path that brings us closer to the divine within. Let's continue now with a gentle yet clarifying chapter, where Krishna helps Arjuna and us understand how even faith is shaped by the qualities within us. Chapter 17, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the threefold nature of faith. Arjuna, curious and thoughtful, asks, Krishna, what happens to those who act with faith, but not according to the scriptures? Is their faith pure or misplaced? And Krishna, in his patient wisdom, replies, Arjuna, faith is not one. It is of three kinds, born of the three gunas. Sattvic faith, pure and light. This faith is directed toward truth, discipline, and devotion. It leads to selfless action. Those with sattvic faith offer food, prayers, and service without craving reward. It uplifts. It purifies. It connects the soul to higher truth. Rajasic faith, driven and restless. This faith is rooted in desire. It seeks power, recognition, and praise. Even in charity, the giver expects something in return. It appears noble, but it binds the soul to ego and restlessness. Tamasic faith, confused and harmful. This faith is misplaced, directed toward false gods, blind rituals, or self-harming practices. It ignores reason. It feeds fear or superstition. This faith darkens the heart and keeps one trapped in ignorance. Then Krishna speaks of intention, again returning to the heart behind the act. Even the food we eat, the prayers we offer, the sacrifices we make, all are shaped by the faith behind them. He ends this chapter with a powerful invocation. Let every act of offering, austerity, or charity be done not for show, but as a loving offering to the divine. And finally he gives 3 sacred words to purify all action. Om, Tat, Saturday, the eternal syllables, the sound of truth, the essence of purity. And so we are reminded, faith alone is not enough. It must be lit by awareness, guided by truth, and surrendered with love. Let us now enter the final chapter, the culmination of Krishna's divine wisdom. Here, all paths come together, all doubts dissolve, and liberation stands within reach. Chapter 18, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the path of renunciation and liberation. Arjuna speaks once more. Krishna, tell me the truth about sannyasa and tyaga, renunciation and letting go. What should we truly give up to be free? And Krishna answers with calm clarity. Giving up action is not true renunciation, Arjuna, but giving up attachment to results, that is true tyaga. He explains, we are not meant to run from action. We are meant to act with full heart, full strength, and release the craving for reward. To abandon duty out of fear or pain is not renunciation, but to do your dharma even when it's hard, without attachment, that is true surrender. Then Krishna speaks of the 3 forces behind all actions: knowledge, the doer, the action itself. Each can be of sattva, rajas, or tamas, clear, restless, or dark. The wise act with purity, peace, and purpose. The ignorant act from pride, anger, or confusion. He goes on to explain how duty varies with nature. A warrior's dharma is courage. A teacher's dharma is truth. A servant's dharma is loyalty. No path is higher or lower when walked with sincerity and detachment. And then, Krishna gives the most liberating truth. Abandon all dharmas, Arjuna, and surrender to me alone. I will free you from all sin. Do not fear. These words are not about religion. They are about the final freedom, to trust the divine fully, to stop carrying the burden of control, to live, love, and act with a heart that rests in God. And then, Krishna turns to Arjuna with gentleness and love. Have you listened with full attention, Arjuna? Has your confusion now gone? Arjuna breathes deeply. The storm has passed. Yes, Krishna, my delusion is gone. My duty is clear, and I will do as you say. And in that moment, the warrior rises, not in anger, not with ego, but with clarity, with peace, with purpose reborn. The Gita ends, but life begins again. As Krishna sets down his final word, the conch shells sound again. The battlefield awaits, but now Arjuna is ready, not because his enemies have changed, but because he has. And so the Bhagavad Gita is not a story of war. It is the song of the soul, the journey from confusion to clarity, from fear to surrender, from human to divine. And with that, the sacred dialogue comes to an end. But its wisdom lives on in every moment of courage, surrender, and love. Thank you for walking this path with us. If this journey touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more soulful insights. Till we meet again, stay centered, stay conscious, and keep listening to the voice within.